Typical, here's the story from my life, and here's what I learned from it. But instead of a moral of the story, I have a sort of formula that I came up with. This formula is for ensuring the highest chances of success when you're trying to accomplish a huge goal. So I bet most of you have heard of the Aragon series with the dragons, and they made a really bad movie out of it. Well, I've been reading this series since I was 13 years old, and the last book just came out. So I've really grown up with this story, and I've become really attached to it, so I think it's really fitting that it gave me the idea. So, in this, when I was reading the last book, the characters accomplished a hugely crazy task against all odds, and I was literally in shock because they had actually done it. So I was thinking why and how they had achieved their goal. Then, 4 tools that the characters used came into mind. They are time, never giving up, counsel, and personal reflection. Now, these might sound simple, self-explanatory, and overused, but nevertheless, I didn't realize their importance and power until I consciously thought about them. Ever since I scribbled those 4 things down, they made more and more sense to me. Discovering these shed light on the power that I and anyone else can have. So to see if this formula was actually accurate, I look back on one of the greatest obstacles I've ever overcome, learning how to snowboard. So basically all my life I've wanted to snowboard. Ever since I read the anime series Shaman King, I don't know if anyone knows that, which had a snowboarder in it, I thought I was destined to be a great snowboarder. Well, after about 7 years of believing this, I finally had a chance to go to a ski resort. So I signed myself up for lessons, and I was so excited. But I was also extremely nervous. I felt like I should be good at it. It should come easy to me. Turns out, I was wrong. So, not only did my classmates surpass me by a lot, I also fell more than anyone. And when I fell, somehow, even when I wasn't going too fast, I slammed against the ground, my feet flew up from underneath me, and it was just a disaster every single time. A lot of pain. So, I literally looked like a cartoon character. And this is no exaggeration. I probably fell about 50 times the first day. So when I fell, or failed, I physically felt it every single time. But every single time, I got back up and I tried again. I knew I couldn't give up, not after all these years of thinking that I was supposed to be good at it. I even spent, okay, so the next 2 times I went snowboarding over the next few years, I actually started to look like a snowboarder. I even spent more time snowboarding than I did lying on the ground. But I didn't get there easily. I didn't get there alone. The countless bits of advice I got from various people really accelerated my learning process. Even over my last, but I'm not done yet. Okay, even over my last snowboarding trip, I got a brain injury-induced migraine one day, and then the next day, I got a concussion because someone crashed into me apparently. But I don't remember, because I was knocked out. So, despite my magnetic attraction to random accidents, I am still ready for the next time I can go snowboarding. Okay, back to my formula. So, time. As probably everyone knows, when you really want something to happen and you really want to gain something, giving it time to happen is the last thing you want to do. Well, sorry, things need time. Time goes by anyways, so you might as well use it to move forward and make progress on your challenge. In the time that I wasn't on the slopes, I fit in other helpful things like counsel and personal reflection. I knew I wouldn't be able to snowboard well by the end of the first trip, but that was okay. I needed time to let what I had learned soak in. If you climb your mountain too fast, the drastic change in altitude will end up backfiring. Okay, never giving up. This is one of those overused phrases that you see on inspirational posters and in inspirational speeches, which is what mine is, so here it is. Okay, climbing any mountain is not going to be easy. There will be ups and there will be downs, and sometimes, usually most of the time, there's going to be a lot more downs than there are ups. But if you think back to why and how much you want to achieve your goal, then the downs won't seem as frightening. Even when I embarrassed myself, when other people doubted me, and when I thought I would never succeed, I didn't give up. Having the persistence and the drive to overcome setbacks by instilling confidence in you and your decisions will ensure that if you do end up failing, it will be for reasons beyond your control. This part of the formula is to prevent regrets. Counsel. Okay, stay awake a little longer and listen. Human beings are social animals. We thrive in communities. So it's only natural for us to take other people's opinions into account. I know for some people asking for help isn't the easiest thing to do, but you don't always have to directly ask for help. Simply expressing your concerns about your own personal mountain to climb will open the doors for others to add their input. For me, I both asked for help from mostly strangers and just shared my doubts, and I gained invaluable, sincere advice, and it worked. You'll never know what piece of the puzzle you might be missing until you get another perspective. We're all learners. You don't need to stand alone all the time. Finally, personal reflection. Sometimes the universe isn't going to make getting what you want easy. In these cases, the universe puts achieving success in your own hands. Therefore, it is imperative to have a good, deep, and realistic, yet optimistic understanding of your process and the extent to which you will face your challenge. My form of personal reflection was meditating on keeping a clear head and the movements of snowboarding, like when to lean one way and how much pressure to put on one foot when. The important thing is to not lie to yourself, and also, don't punish yourself if you fail. Really study the cliffs, rivers, and the climate of the mountain before you, and judge fairly how you might respond to them. People's advice, combined with giving it time, my determination, and calm approach, allowed me to climb my mountain and snowboard down it. Thank you.